You mentioned the money stories, and I'm just curious, and you mentioned that at one point you didn't have any money and had a family and just hit that rock bottom. How did you even begin to like rebuild that and trust that what you have to offer the world and the service that you provide? I don't mean service, but like the thing, I mean like in service to people, because I feel like you are just beautifully serving your community. Like, how did you kind of equate that to like, okay, I can make money and provide for my family by doing this?
Yeah, because like I said, I had $47 at one point being a single mom with 2 kids and sold all the furniture. Like I've
Were you
lived.
working?
Oh, I was a trainer.
Wow. Okay.
So, I mean, I had my clients,
Yeah.
but I was also supporting these kids. And, I was living off ramen. I was living off like very limited stuff, borrowing Wi-Fi from the walls and the neighbors' Wi-Fi, like tinfoil for the antenna for the kids as 2 stations to watch like the Big Red Dog, things like that. I had a lot of work to do around money, my money mindset and abundance in general. And so it started at first with reading books. I literally went to the library, didn't buy books. I went to the library and checked out books. And I think it's going to evade me right now. There's like these books. I mean, there's a lot of them, right? You can do Waddle Wallace. Like I remember Napoleon Hill was a big deal for me. I don't know why, but I read everything of Napoleon Hill's.
What are some of Napoleon Hill's books? I actually don't know.
Well, Think and Grow Rich is the most infamous one, right? But he's got principles on success. You can go digging and he has so much. And then he'll talk about Wallace Waddles and trying to think of the title of that book, but it literally had a statement in there that was like, and this was kind of a religion card for me, and I needed it because I grew up thinking that people that had a lot of money were not holy or they didn't have good intentions. So I had to wrestle with that, right? So, and in his book, he was like, you are not being religious. You are not acting in the highest favor of God if you are not making the money that you're meant to be making to help the people you need to help. And that hit me. For some reason, it hit me, and that was like a click for me. But I read a lot of books. I listened to a lot of conferences. And when I read the books, a lot of times they had assignments inside the books, like write this down, do this. I did all the assignments.
Wow.
And I think that's another key because there's assignments in a lot of books, but people don't really do them. They read the book. They're like, that was good. That felt kind of good. But they don't really go deeper and do the work. And I think that made a difference. And it was over time of really using affirmations, really writing my old beliefs and writing new beliefs and trying to feel into who am I going to be if I have a lot of money? Am I really going to change? Are these old stories true? And I think over time, that's when it starts to click. But I do know that it took the mindset before it ever was going to kick off, right? I mean, it wasn't like the business has grown just because of our funnels and because of our email list and because of our strategy. I know it was energy for sure too.
Yeah, you talked about that earlier. What are your energetic rituals for supporting the business? For people listening, how can they apply some of those principles of understanding energy within business, and especially if they're working in a business with a lot of men? Like, what conversation's happening there? Because a lot of times men don't really understand. Yeah,
and I work with primarily men. I mean, on the high level. I mean, a lot of our employees are female, but so for me, it's one, knowing that and this is, I would say this for anyone who's in a business or starting a business, ensure it's a soul business. I mean, there's a lot of ways to make a lot of money that really have no like big impact on the world, truly. And I don't think that's really the purpose. I really don't. I really think that we're here to contribute something, leave it a little better than we left it, to fulfill our own cup of what feels good. And money's just in and out. Like, that's not the purpose. And so really having a deeper purpose, I think that's first. And that's energy just in itself. Doing right by what you're bringing out into the world. That's number one. And then number two, like I said, I literally call upon outer powers. And when I say outer powers, I would say that those powers are even me. I mean, I don't know if I can speak all this language, but I don't fully know. But it's like, I feel like if we believe in oneness, then the things that I think are outside of me that are really great are actually me. Mm-hmm. And so really calling upon that extra help every single day.
Are these rituals built within your business on the everyday, like with your team? Like, what does that look like?
Okay, so with team, so these are personal, and Craig and I, my business partner, we will set intentions for like every week. So, and I think intention's everything. So setting an intention, why are we doing this? A lot of times I'll decide to do something in business and I question like, what's the why behind this? Is it because it sounds great or it's like the new shiny thing, or is there a deeper why? So checking in always with the why. Is that a soul call, or is this just an ego call, or is this just a call because you think everyone else thinks you should do this, or it's the good idea? So checking in always on these decisions. And at the early days, that was someone coming to me and being like, you could make so much money if you send this email. And I would check in and I'd be like, actually, I don't really want my followers to consume that product. Danette, I think you can kind of reword it in your brain. It's going to make you a lot of money. You guys need to start getting your legs off the ground. And I always held true to it. And I think in the end that I was playing a longer game, and I just never sent anything in email that wasn't in resonance, even if it would make a lot of money. And so that's how it started. And now it's today. So with the team today, because we are all virtual, so we do a weekly meditation together, because some of them, everybody's on different scales of whether they love it or not. But, we do it as a team. And I think regardless of whether they love it or even believe in it, they're feeling it. So they're there. And so we do that. And then we do dream mapping. Have you heard of dream mapping? It was so fun to do. We could even do it at the end of this if you want. But it's literally as if I was sitting down with you guys 6 months or a year from now, as if like we were here and we were looking back from 6 months to a year now, and we're talking as if all the things happened that we're so, have you done this before? Excited about. So I'd be like, oh my gosh, Lindsey, you have this new show. I don't even know what your goals are, but I'd be like, you have this new show. It's amazing. And all these people are watching, and you're able to say all the things you want to say, and you're creating a movement all around the world and opening them up to these new ideas. I cannot believe this happened, and all the right connections happened, and you were connected. And so we bang off each other all the dreams that are in our hearts as if they happen, and we get excited and our eyes get big, and we're each sharing, and we do that as a team. And it creates like it's happened, and it creates this energy within the team and within yourself.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Morning Microdose by Almost 30.
We hope you enjoyed waking up.
As always, we encourage you to take what resonates and leave the rest. If you enjoyed this trip, tune into the full episode on the Almost 30 podcast. All episode information can be found in the show notes.
Make sure to subscribe, and if this becomes a part of your morning routine, be sure to share it with a friend. We have new inspiring doses Monday through Friday. Follow us on Instagram at Morning Microdose, and follow Almost 30 at Almost 30 Podcast.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the vortex.